between now until December, the hope is that you make that transition from PEZA to the BoI. But when the state of calamity ends by December, then BPOs would now be registered under a BoI. That's opening the possibility of 100% work from home. Does this mean that moving forward, it's all going to be with BoI, no more business with PEZA?
It's indeed a very important and welcome day for our industry, Jess and Danny. We have been promoting full flexibility in work from home hybrid work setup for over a year now. And I just want, before we begin, I just wanted to express my appreciation to the President and his administration for the clarity of vision and realization on how indispensable the IT-BPM industry is to the Philippine economy. From now until the end of the year, the FIRB and the DOF will be providing more detailed guidelines on how to effect this seamless paper transfer for PEZA registered business enterprises to the Board of Investments, which does not, who does not have any limitations on physical presence to receive the full incentives of the investment promotion agency. However, I believe that the remaining months of the year will be the time needed to effect this transfer. And moving forward, there will be, my understanding is that there will be no more limitation on physical presence and the need to work on site for those approved firms and enterprises that will now be BoI registered.
Okay. Sir, can you nuance that? So 2,000 BPOs are currently registered under PEZA. How many are you expecting to move to the BoI? And what would be the rationale for not doing so? Give us an idea of which BPO firms are going to surely and immediately make this shift and those that might opt to simply stay with the PEZA.
Yes, Danny, there are 478 IT-BPM firms who are PEZA registered who applied for letters of authority with PEZA that gave them that extension. I would imagine and expect that a good number of those who want to give their employees full flexibility will be applying and expressing their interest to paper transfer to the BoI. Now, obviously, this gives them the full flexibility that we've always wanted, as well as resolve once and for all this back and forth on whether they're going to continue to enjoy their fiscal incentives. So I think it will depend on the enterprise, on what their priorities are, but it does seem that this solution by the DOF and FIRB resolves the majority of the issues that we've been tackling.
Sir, what is the benefit to stay with PEZA right now?
Well, PEZA has been a great champion of the export industry overall and also the export services, which includes the IT-BPM sector over the past decades. Aside from fiscal incentives, which are uniform across all IPAs, the main attraction of PEZA is and has always been the one-stop shop suite of services that they are able to provide their locators. This is a big deal, in my opinion, because it reduces a lot of the administrative tasks and allows investors to do what they set out to do. And I think this will remain a very prominent feature of remaining with PEZA.
Given that, can you give us a sense of how PEZA is feeling about this move? I mean, have you received any communication for them, or at least what's the immediate reaction that you heard from the organization? How open are they really to making this transition? as seamless as possible. And I know you mentioned earlier we have yet to get more details on how this transition is going to look like, but are you expecting a tedious one?
I think the intent of the DOF and FIRB and the DTI, of course, is to make this transfer a seamless one. And I think PEZA will continue, since there will be no physical relocation. No RBEs are being asked to physically relocate outside of PEZA. So my expectation and understanding is that PEZA will remain to oversee and manage and supervise these RBEs within their zones. It is being termed as a paper transfer. More details will be forthcoming, and I have no reason to believe that FIRB will oversee this very smoothly with PEZA and BoI, but the details are yet to come.
So you mean, Jack, that there's still going to be an oversight function here from the part of the PEZA?
PEZA,
So how
even
then
if they've shifted
yeah,
to
so
the
how then
BoI?
is going to be the division of work here or management between the BoI and the PEZA?
Well, my thinking is that as there is no physical relocation, they will remain inside PEZA, and it just makes, I think it's quite logical for PEZA to retain many of its oversight functions. But those details are going to be
Ironed out.
explained and released in the coming days when the resolutions come out. But I believe that a good number will also need more space as they receive more work and contracts from our overseas customers. Because, even during the worst of the pandemic, as you know, we grew 145,000 jobs over the past 2 years. We're off to a good start in 2022, despite this uncertain overhang on incentives, work from home. But now that this has been resolved, I can only think that we are in a much stronger position to grow the industry. And as long as there will be a need for Filipino employees and workforce, there will be a need for workspace.